Welcome to DTNS Experiment Week. Yes, it is back again all this week. We're preempting our regular programming to try out some new show ideas, explore cross-show opportunities, give you some exclusive content we wouldn't do at other times of the year. So after you listen, please let us know what you think. Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com. On with today's experiment.
Hello and welcome to the Ritual Misery Podcast. Oh, no, that's not it. Hello and welcome to Experiment Week on DTNS. This is Amos. I decided that I was going to just have an experiment of catching up with some people that used to work on DTNS and have since moved on to maybe bigger and better things. Or just different. So today I have Jennie Josephson, the original producer, editor, all around person to help Tom.
Yeah, person.
And Rich Stroffolino, who carried headlines for years and also helped out with the main show for quite a while and sporadically as well. So like both.
One-time mainstays of the DTNS universe. Yes.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd get you guys on the phone. One, because I love you guys and I really miss you and we haven't talked in a while, but also because I think the audience would love to hear what you've gone on to do since leaving the DTNS verse.
Okay. A lot.
Well, Jennie, let's start with you.
Okay.
All right. Let me go through it quickly and then I'll hit the good stuff and the bad stuff. Okay. I think in 2015, that's when I left. And I got a job at the public radio show Marketplace, thanks to Ms. Molly Wood. Mm-hmm. Everything I'm going to say is thanks to someone. Let's just put it that way. And if I could say their names, I will. And I had this incredible 3 years at Marketplace where I just learned really how to edit and really how to produce at a public radio level. And it was awesome. And then I did a thing called Make Me Smart with Kai and Molly, this podcast that was fun. I launched that. I found out I'm a launcher. I'm a launcher and not a producer. Tom's done 17,000 episodes of the same show and I can't do that. And so once I launched and did Make Me Smart for a year, I wanted to do more. And so I started a podcast production company in 2018 and that was so great. Truly life-changing. I got to work with Amos, this Amos guy, some guy named Amos. I got to work with Rich. I did my favorite thing, which is farm out terrible jobs to other people. Not naming the shows. I kept the good ones for myself. I loved running a podcast production company. The only problem was I was not good at running a business. Tom is one of the most diligent and responsible business owners I know. It's very impressive, right? Like he knows exactly what he can afford to do. He's got a consistent funding source from these amazing patrons. Like he's got it down to the nickel. And I did not. Did not. And so the moment that my intern that I had free for a year needed to be paid, and the moment that I lost one consulting gig, I was toast and I could not even speak out loud. And so that was, I guess that was November of 2019. And I got a job through Mary Haynes, saved my life, at Roku, of all things. I got to work for 6 months as a maternity replacement at Roku.
I remember that, yeah.
I loved Roku. It appealed to the, there's the creative side of any person, and then there's the side that likes to make buckets and lists and categories and code things and look up analytics. That was Roku, and I loved it. It was so satisfying, but I didn't want to stay there forever because you didn't actually at that time make anything, right? You weren't doing anything. You just were in meetings all day and then you were typing. But I loved it. It was good kind of typing. So then, you ready for the big save? This is the last job. The big save in March of 2020, in which you may recall some other things were going on. Someone who would not want me to name her but knows who she is saved literally my life and got me a job at Intuit QuickBooks, where I've been for the last 5 years. And it's a grown-up job, and you make actual dollars, and it's a good company, and I really love it. I did not think I would belong at a company that is known primarily for accounting, but there we have it. And also, it's really a job where, at least in my job, I get to help and promote and give some money to small businesses. And that really, it turned out failing at a small business is really good for working at a place that helps small businesses.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah. So that's my arc. We can get into all that stuff later, but that's my arc.
All right. Well, then let's move on to you, Rich, real quick. What you been up to? What have you been doing?
My career in podcasting has taken many varied turns. In 2015, I think around there, Tom asked me, "Hey, can you help me get started on this daily tech headline show?" Which is like a 5-minute tech headline show. And as you mentioned, I did that on and off, and then did it kind of full time for a couple of years, starting in 2020, and left in 2023 over the summer of 2023. Where kind of in between there, I worked for a company called Gestalt IT, and they mostly hired me because they wanted me to do a enterprise IT news show that ran 10 to 15 minutes. And then someone that Tom introduced me to, David Spark, asked me to help with the CISO series and get their cybersecurity headline show started, which is a 5 to 10 minute show daily for cybersecurity news. So I've really spanned a huge delta here in terms of that. And
you
you
really conquered the 5 to 15 minute market.
The micro podcast. If you want to start a micro podcast that is about news headlines, I may have some experience to lend you. This is also, I could get into the whole thing, but basically I've been doing that since 2020 with David Spark on CISO series, and he kind of came to me and said, "Hey, we need we're expanding, and we need like a full-time producer and kind of an overseer, someone to move into more of an oversight role with cybersecurity headlines, because we had a bunch of producers on there. And it was kind of like how we've done headlines before, not to reveal the curtain too much, but it's like you own that show when you're producing that day. And we just had enough people touching it on a daily basis that he wanted someone to kind of look over top. We had sponsorships and stuff.
I feel like you're saying you're a manager without saying you're a manager. Are you a manager?
I don't like it. I'm the wimpiest manager possible. I'm more of like did we check that guy? Which is a producer.
Hey, no big deal, but if you get a second, do you think that you could okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the most like low-key Midwest Slack messages you will ever get. Be like, did you link that ad banner? So yeah, I've been doing that. I helped, I've been working with CISO series. So we've launched a couple of new shows. We did one, I'm hosting one called Security You Should Know, which is all about kind of digging into vendor solutions and stuff like that. I've been hosting a show we have called Super Cyber Friday, which is a live show that kind of delves into kind of more broader topics. I've been doing a week in review show, which is more of a DTNS style show every Friday, 3:30 p.m. Check it out. You can watch that and then go right into DTNS, as long as it's still on at 4 Eastern, which I don't know if it is. So if it isn't, prioritize DTNS audience. But if you want to, you can learn about the cybersecurity news week in review. But basically, that's what I've been doing. It's all Tom's fault. He introduced me to David, and then because Tom is the most gracious human being ever alive, he was thrilled when I said, "Oh, I'm taking a full-time job with David." He's like, "I'm so happy for you." And I'm lucky enough that I get to produce It's a Thing with Tom and Molly. So I'm not entirely out of the broader DTNS orbit. I still, I'm chatting with Tom and Molly all the time, which is awesome, which is like a dream job. And you can hear me on that show for $5 a month on our Patreon. I'm just kidding. You can, I'm on the bonus content. So if you ever want some Rich, Tom, Molly, or a Rich Tamale, we have a t-shirt you can buy with that on it as well. This is all plugs. This is all just me plugging stuff at this point. Yes, I've been expanding my podcasting and podcasting producing and managing career for over the last 2 years or so.
That is quite the turn.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then I can blame Jennie entirely for getting me into all of this. She was the ultimate enabler. She didn't tell me to shut up when I kept emailing into the show and suggesting to do stuff. And so I was like, all right, I guess I gotta.
I thought you were a lawyer.
I guess.
In 2014, Rich would always write in on legal issues, Rich from lovely Cleveland. And I was like, oh, this guy's a lawyer. Wow. And he wasn't.
I
was
worked at a law firm.
Not even out of college, I think.
I was definitely out of college at that point. But I was working a miserable data entry job at a law firm, which means I had lots of time to listen to podcasts and write emails into podcasts, and spent way too much time on those emails. Sorry, Reimer, Arnovitz, Jernick, and Jeffrey. Come at me. What you got?
Yeah. Where's their podcast? For five
Believe me, I probably pitched them. Everywhere I've worked, I've pitched them. It's like, you know, I'm doing a podcast. And now
what I can tell you is that doing a podcast for lawyers has a downside.
Mainly
I'm not going to say anything
lawyers.
More. Doing podcasts for lawyers is definitely it's a great place to learn. Yep. The good and the bad.
Yep. Yep. By the way, Anthony, or whatever, can I call you Anthony?
Yeah, that's fine.
Amos Anthony Anderson. No, that's not his last name. No. So wait, I was going to say something, but I have brain fog all the time now for a variety of reasons. What I was going to say was Anthony has also been doing cool things in addition to being at DTNS. Do you want to briefly touch on those?
My DTNS story has started with me being an intern, as Jennie mentioned, at the end of my Air Force career, because that was an option that was given to me and I took him up on it. Then I worked for Jennie directly, at, Infinite
Gain Productions. Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember.
Yeah.
Barely. I had to look it up.
I think I still have the Slack channel just pasted forever on the side of my Slack.
Yeah.
At that time, I was also had a great chance to work with Rich on several different projects. We tried a photography podcast, for example.
Yeah, that was fun.
A couple times actually.
I would do it right now. Like that's one of those shows like I could just do it right now. You want to talk about the A1 or the R1X3 whatever 2 that $5,000 point and shoot? Let's go. I'm ready. Yeah. I have thoughts. Yeah.
And first story. Can we complain about these naming conventions again?
Oh, this freaking. As long as the number gets bigger, this is my thing. The new thing needs a bigger number. Okay, I'm sorry, Apple has ruined me. The best thing should have the biggest number. Okay, that's the thing.
That's very anti-canon of you.
I know. I hate it. You're R1. Get out of here, losers.
So I went on from that. I worked with Jennie on several podcasts, which led me to a few other opportunities to work with some other producers on some podcasts. And then I kind of shut all of that down during just after the pandemic, just because I didn't have a whole lot of time. But I stayed with Tom, working on different projects, working on Know a Little More and a few other things. And now I am the lead producer of DTNS Briefing, which is kind of the main show.
Yeah.
And I'm also employed outside the home for the first time in quite some time, working asset protection at Walmart, one of my local Walmarts. That is my primary gig at this point. And
is it full? Do they consider it full time, where like you get benefits?
Yep.
Good.
Is it because you look good in a vest?
I don't have to wear a vest because of asset protection.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have like the.
Yeah, I do little.
But you do have to say your asset protection if you're asked, right?
I do.
Or
not.
Is that just in movies?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can go into it. There are no rules.
Do you wear a leather? Do you wear like a black leather blazer when you do it?
I could, but I'm not going to because that would be very that'd be a very
and like a Henley
looking.
That'd be great if you could just do that.
I have to look like every other Alaskan up here.
It's undercover.
Yeah, I have to blend in. Yeah, it's fun.
Sorry, can we curse on this?
I don't care. I'll bleep it out.
Okay.
Beep. Well, God bless.
So that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear the podcasts I've faded on?
Oh yes, please.
Can anybody do some sad music? Do, 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 do. In memoriam. So there was Tell It Anyway, which I don't know why.
I don't know if that really faded or just kind of came to a conclusion where you told a bunch of stories and like it's its own piece.
I couldn't remember the stories I'd told.
Purpose of it were fulfilled. I felt.
Yeah.
It started getting to the point where to tell more stories, you'd have to retell the stories you already told.
That's right.
And it was kind of an Ouroboros,
and also
Ouroboros or whatever.
Our stories were more or less upbeat, and then like things got not upbeat.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can it's hard to do that. So, all right, I faded on. Tell It Anyway came to a very lovely conclusion with a story about a guy who got some at Auschwitz or near Auschwitz. And that was the end of that.
Why do I not remember that?
Yeah, because it came out late, like a year after. Yeah. We did a couple of reboots of it on the New Year's streamcast. And then I faded on Let's Talk About Cheers. Because my comments, I always fade for a good reason. It was like my comments were all the same. There wasn't anything new to say about 90-11 seasons of Cheers. But that show was beloved. And
that show was amazing. It got me to watch Cheers and also buy a lot of rugby shirts.
Yeah.
God bless it. Ted Danson in a rugby shirt looks great.
Yeah. So I feel bad about that one. And Matt,
where was I that I found a couple Funkos from the show and had to buy them immediately and mailed them from that location, and I wasn't even home. Like I mailed them from like I don't know, like Idaho or something stupid. But I had to mail them because I knew that I wouldn't be able to ship them in the proper or carry them in my luggage in the proper like without getting them broken or whatever. So I shipped them from that location, from a UPS store, wherever it was that we found them on whatever road we were on.
And then I canceled the podcast.
This is the way.
We have received fan merch. It's time to end.
Yeah. Let's talk about Star Wars. Didn't fade. It consciously uncoupled.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then Let's Walk About Disney was very much a pandemic, like minimal effort thing. I don't even think we used microphones. I think we just like
you just shouted into the void,
phone.
Right?
Yeah. And then I've had a lot of podcast ideas, but my podcast fading has prevented me from doing those ideas because I don't want to sucker punch people again.
Here's my podcast idea that I just need a yes from Mollywood that will never come. Which is fine. But let's talk about Babylon 5.
Yes.
I would do that show in a heartbeat. However, I'm lazy. I don't really want to book the show. And if I can't have a full-time co-host, I definitely don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because hence lazy. I also have a proud history of pod fading. The show I did the longest, I think, was called The Edifice of Our Demise, which I did with my good friend Ben Weinberg. And that was a show. It was all about rating if things in the news were a sign of the end times or just sad. And then we ended it like in, I don't know, it was like November 2016, I want to say. And
because it happened.
Just for some reason, like satire didn't feel fun anymore. I don't know what happened there. It just didn't feel fun to do anymore. So
that's what killed Tell It Anyway too.
We both were just like, nah, let's not do that. I did Weekly Tech News Hour, which simulcast on WRUW FM. So I did a radio show podcast. Which was kind of a one-hander DTNS kind of style rundown of the new tech news of the week, inspired by the Tom Merritt naming conventions of doing things as obviously as possible. I also did the Novelization Realization Project.
I love that show so much.
I loved it too. It just took so much effort, but it was where I reviewed movie novelizations. Cabin in the Woods with Jennie Josephson, one of my favorites. I did a episode about the movie Hackers with my friend Phil, who I was pretty sure was a little high when we did it, and a lot of other good ones. Best movie novelization is probably Predator, because it was written by a guy who was a poet. Howard the Duck is also surprisingly good, written by a satirist for like National Lamp, like an actual magazine. But Predator is written by a guy who's mostly known for gay poetry and then died of AIDS in like 1986 or something like that. So he's like actually like a real author. And then he just happened to needed a paycheck to write Predator. It
started a whole universe.
Yeah. So it was just like, it's actually well written. So check it out if you want to read that. Don't ask me to start the show up again. I have a huge stack of novelizations still in my basement that Jackie's like, should we get rid of those? Nah, those are forever.
Do you have other questions, Anthony, or should we just keep talking?
No, this
Okay,
is
we can
exactly
just
what I was hoping for. Is just to
freeform.
find out whatever.
I didn't want to be
doing.
rude and just keep talking if there were questions.
No, you know my prep work was the idea, 4 texts and showing up, right?
Yeah, perfect podcast. Okay, so let's go through all of us the goodest and the worstest of, let's just say, the past 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, Rich, you go first.
Like in our lives?
The best, in our lives. Like, what is the best thing that happened, and if you want the worst things, like you don't have to say the worst things.
The worst thing, is we had a personal loss due to a long battle with illness in our family, and so that happened just this year. So that was pretty brutal. I'll be honest. And I don't want to get into it too much, but that's that's obviously the first thing that comes to mind. But the best thing has been honestly when the pandemic, it was not the best thing, but it was the fact that I had already, because I had started on the road to podcasting thanks to one Jennie Josephson, I'd already been working from home for like a year and a half, making my bread, just kind of working on my bedroom as I am in right now, so there was like. The fact that was like a completely smooth transition. I could still be home with my kids the whole time, be there for my family, and kind of seamlessly. I know some people want that more of like that clear distinction between work and home. But for me, being able to just kind of dip in and out of that when you have little kids is super important, and being able to be there. So just kind of having gotten my career to a point where I don't have to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours a day driving somewhere, which I was doing for a long time. I'm sure tons of other people do it every day. So I just like, I'm never not grateful that I can like spend like 2 hours or more with my kids in the morning and then roll into work, and it takes 2 seconds, so that's generally the best thing. Also, I went to Vegas for Jackie for her birthday, and that was cool.
Yay. Anthony?
So the worst thing I would say was having to put my dog down. Yeah, that was rough. Still bothers me to this day. Like, it's one of those decisions that, you have to, I'll rethink that decision and wonder if there's more that I could have done, for a long time. But, and then the best thing is it's kind of hard because my wife came back from Washington. She's up here in Alaska, so I could just see her every day, which is like new.
New and wonderful.
Yeah, it's actually pretty great. My oldest daughter just got married last month.
Oh my gosh. Yay. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's still August, right? So yeah, she just got married last month. So that was pretty exciting, pretty awesome. It was a great ceremony. And for the record, the whole reason I wanted to have kids and primarily wanted to have daughters because I wanted to walk my daughter down the aisle, which I got to do. So it's pretty awesome.
Oh God, I realized that might be in my future.
Did you just have that moment of
literally
like,
just
mortality?
Cats in the crate. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, those are the big things. And then just as cynical and as downtrodden on the world that I am, my life has actually been going pretty good. And I think it's because I've been holding everything so hard at bay to not let the external world affect my inner world too much.
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, nothing happened to me.
No?
Nothing at all.
I think it's a lie.
I think that's a lie. Okay, let's limit ourselves to 2020 and beyond, shall we? In 2021, my dad, who had Parkinson's, started to really decline. And so I was flying back and forth to New York. And in addition to helping him, he went into, a facility from which he basically did not emerge until the end. And I had to clean out his radio hoarder 3-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side that Anthony has seen. Rich, did you see it?
No, I did not get a chance to see it.
I got to sleep in it.
Yeah, Anthony got to sleep in a radio studio that has hosted Alec Baldwin, the Rolling Stones, among others,
for a week.
Several vice presidents. And so it was this like tremendous effort, like not to minimize my father's death, but the apartment was harder. Like, because like some of the stuff in there was trash and some of it is archival audio from the 60s and beyond.
We're talking about a house that Jennie
Yes.
hasn't lived in for a couple decades, but still had a sign on the door that said Jennie's room.
Yes. Like it literally is a museum.
I have a headphone jack from that house that I use still almost every day.
A lot of people have stuff from that house because I was like, take something.
I have a weird Sony mic that I use sometimes.
Yeah.
I have some memorabilia.
And the most precious things that is the most relevant to the DTNS audience, I feel like, are my dad's two famous microphones. The AR, oh God, I can't remember their names. This is so terrible. I bring something up technical but they are beautiful, beautiful ribbon mics. And for a long time, was it the Shure? No, it's not Shure. I got to look it up. They're famous. They're like famous microphones, and everybody who's famous, who ever came into my dad's apartment, spoke in them. And I was really like, who do I give these to? Who do I give these to? Because I didn't want to use them. They're too powerful. Like I couldn't use them correctly. And if they just sat there, they would get damaged. So in the end, a friend of mine who is an audio engineer, his house burned down in Altadena, and he lost all of his gear, and he got the mics.
Wow,
so that was the good ending of that story. And I have a box of 300 boxes of archival audio that I'm paying $500 a month to store in good storage because it's this very valuable collection of Bob and Ray, and I'm slowly going bankrupt saving that. So all ideas for how to get rid of that. I've tried the Library of Congress, and they won't pay me any money.
Buy a salt mine and just store it.
For free. Just buy a salt mine.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, just pick one up on Craigslist.
All right, so that was just one thing. Some crazy family stuff happened that I can't share on the podcast, but it was like taking someone out of a bad situation and helping them reestablish their entire life. That would happen immediately after my dad. Then Jax died, my beloved Pomeranian, and I went completely off the GD cliff, and whoa, something just fell. It was a ghost, and then ended up in a hospital because I completely lost my marbles. So that was the very serious part of the last 5 years. Had some fun in there. Let me tell you, there was some fun. There was, I can't even joke about it, but I can joke about it. I want you to know that I'm joking when I tell you that I almost got strangled by a meth addict on my last day, but I didn't really, because she weighed 90 pounds and I could have knocked her over with my breath. But she was trying to get a better room. And I didn't want to end up in a fight where I would have to stay longer, like prison. So that was a low point, but also in terms of future storytelling on Tell It Anyway, high point. So took a little while to recover from that, and then got another Pomeranian named Zuzu, who is just the cutest little puppy, and that really helped. Let's see, what else happened? There was one other crazy thing that happened. Oh, my mom... I have to move my mom out here. This is not a crisis, but it is a lot of work to LA from New Jersey. And so like the 5 years have just been like full family drama, trauma. There's things I haven't even mentioned. There's like, it's just like, it was just a lot. It was just a lot. And thank goodness I worked it into it. Like, I can't even tell you how much this company has put up with me and my drama.
I mean,
and I hope I've done something good for them. Yeah. So a lot of stuff happened that was bad, but also in the bad times, I think that you find out who's really good and to you. And everyone I'm on this podcast with is really good to me. And a lot of people who aren't were really, really, really good to me. And I could never be more grateful for the friends and the family that I have after the last couple of years.
Plus LeVar Burton.
I helped produce an event with LeVar Burton, for God's sakes. That was a highlight.
That's a walk-off shot, if anything.
That's a walk-off shot. I'm trying to think of the one story I can tell, which is when we were doing the meeting ahead of the thing. When you meet with celebrities, they all say, oh, well, the celebrity will show up too. Their agency says that, and they don't. And except LeVar Burton showed up, like he was there, and he looked a little tired, and he was like, oh, I just got back from Las Vegas, and blah-bitty blue. And so he was like a little tired and just kind of listening and whatever. And we had suggested some walk-on music for him for this event at QuickBooks. And we decided that it should be King Kunta by Kendrick Lamar. And literally the way this man's face lit up and he just threw his hands in the air and was like, yup. Was literally, I think, was one of the highlights of my producing career. And there have been a lot.
That is amazing.
He was just like so immediately in it. And then he was in the meeting after because he was like excited. So always do your research because you could find out that LeVar Burton really likes the song King Kunta. And there even were 20 seconds free of expletives that we were able to use.
That's honestly the more miraculous thing.
That is the more miraculous. I mean, I was even using the clean version, but there were some lines that I was like, can I put this on Intuit internal TV? Anyway, so that's my sum up.
Also, speaking of music and highlights, the whole beef last year, so good.
Yeah.
Between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yeah.
So good.
If
That
you would
was
like
good.
Common Molly's thoughts on that, subscribe to It's a Thing at it'sathing.me.
I have nothing to promote. Small business heroes. If you know a small business who's a hero, nominate them. Ooh, I know one. I'm on it right now.
Speaking of small businesses, my landscaper just arrived, so it might be them telling us that it's time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I have to
think
go
so.
pick up my kids, and I'm going to a wrestling show tonight. That's why I'm wearing my
Oh.
Outrunners shirt. Boom. No one else can see
Oh,
this.
It's video only, but let me assure
but-
you. I mean, it's audio only, but let me assure you that was a cool shirt.
If you ever wanted two wrestlers impersonating 80s wrestlers as their gimmick, it's kind of the greatest thing ever.
Right. Jenny, where can people find you if they want to reach out and,
Hell if I know.
say hi?
No, I'm on Threads. I think it's Jennie J23. I'm pretty sure, or it's
Yeah.
Jennie J JENNIEJ23. I had to give up Twitter.
Yeah.
Instagram is just like for pictures of my dog. So Threads is where you find my thoughts. That's and I tried Blue Sky, but I couldn't get the algorithm to feed me the garbage I wanted it to.
It's true. It is a little resistant to that.
Threads is like an eager dog. If
Threads
you look
is-
at one thing and like it, it will give you all that thing.
Threads is the mirror in Harry Potter, where
Yeah.
it's like there's no knowledge, no wisdom,
Yeah,
but it'll
it's
just show
just
you what
like-
you want to see.
Give me the goods.
You can find me at Mr. Anthropology, MR Anthropology, wherever you. I will sign up early for any platform, so I can squat on that name. Not that anyone else ever will want it, but that's fine. I spend a little bit of time on Blue Sky, so you can find me there, and you can find me. Go if you are interested in a roundup of the cybersecurity news of the week. The Weekend Review Show is on every Friday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on the CISO Series YouTube channel, so check that out too.
Awesome. And of course, you can find me on DTNS. Just feedback at DTNS.
Just sitting in the background.
Feedback at Daily Tech News Show.
Hey.
Or Cord Killers, even. If you want to hear my voice, go to cordkillers.com.
Yeah, go to Court Killer.
It's a hard pass.
All right. Thank you, guys.
RITUALMISCLY